Tolu Smith here. Make sure y'all subscribe to my boy Downtown Deuce ASAP. Come on, man.
All the dirty work, all dog. I'ma dive on the floor, go try to block every shot, and I'ma be physical with you the whole game. You know Stu gonna be physical with you. When you think of the Pistons, you think it's just hard work and just gritty basketball. That's just the identity you gotta have when you put on that jersey.
I'm not your average breed of canine. Not a good dog, I'm bad boy for life. I set the tone, don't care about no tick. Let it be known, I get my respect. Come in the lane and see I don't bluff. If you retaliate, that's on ya. Talking pundits, I hear your shade. Talking that shop, you must run this way. Tryna tell ya, put the dog palm, mess around, find out, Tryna tell ya, put the dog palm, mess around, find out, For some barbecue sauce, boy, you better crop a hill, cause I'm like that. When you're real for some barbecue sauce, boy, you better crop a hill, cause I'm like that. The dog palm, mess around, find out.
What up, though, Pistons fans? Welcome back to another episode of the Downtown Deuce Show with Sarah Boss, aka The Boss. Yes, the Boss is back, and we are glad that she is with us. Boss, how are we feeling tonight?
I feel amazing. That was such a fun game to watch. We killed it. Everybody brought something to the table. So, great way to end the preseason. Great way to start the regular season. Yeah,
I'm ready for the regular season at this point. Like, it was fun. It's been fun. It's nice to see our guys out there, but, health is important, as we know. And so I'm just ready to get to it to actually have the games count. So speaking of that, the Pistons just concluded preseason play tonight by beating the Washington Wizards 119-98 in their only home game of the preseason. And they finished with a record of 2-2. And before I go any further, I want to shout out the chat. I see you guys already here. Looks like you guys are ready to talk about this game. Mega Hustler, yes, sir. Daniss Jenkins, once again, my guy. Miyuki all the way from Hawaii, I believe, right? Aloha and let's go. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Ryan P, my guy. What's going on, man? It was good to meet you in person at the open practice, man. Good to put, a face with the name officially. I see your little face down there, but it's good to meet you in person for sure, man. Detroit Drew, what's going on? We got a lot to talk about, bro. He said, Daniss never fails to impress me. I was trying to tell you, bro. I was trying to tell you, man. Not hate to say I told you so, but I've had a lot of confidence in that guy, man. But respect for saying that for sure. Kenyatta says that's our starting five. We're going to get into that. I thought that was an interesting starting five. So we're going to talk about that. But yeah, keep the comments coming, guys. We see you guys in the chat. We're going to get into this game in a minute, guys. But we have to address the elephant in the room first, right? I'm sure by now you guys know, most of you guys are probably already aware that this afternoon we got some unfortunate news. Jaden Ivey, my guy Jaden, is going to miss the first month of the season. And the Pistons released an official statement about that today. So let's go ahead and read that together. It says here, Pistons guard Jaden Ivey underwent an arthroscopic procedure earlier today to relieve right knee discomfort. The procedure and discomfort are unrelated to the fibula injury suffered last season. That's important. Ivey will begin the rehabilitation process immediately and will be reevaluated in 4 weeks. So that was definitely some unfortunate news. Boss, what was your reaction to that when you heard that J.I. was going to be available to sideline to start the season?
Oh, I was immediately heartbroken for Jaden because if you know at all, that he has so much love for the game, and I just hope for a speedy recovery for him on this. Speedy but healthy because we want long term. That was my first and only thing was like, I'm so sad for Jaden. I'm sad I miss him. And I just think, JB had some comments about it too. And he expressed the same thing. Like, we know that he's resilient. We know he'll be okay. But same thing, same kind of like just tough to go through after that.
Yeah.
So I just hope that he, focuses on healing. I'm sure that they will just be extra cautious, make sure he's good for the long run, but I'm going to miss him. He's, I miss him already, and I'm going to miss him. So.
Yeah, no, I'm with you on that. This definitely hurt me when I saw it. First of all, I want to send love to his family, the Ivey Hunter family, his parents, Jaden and Niel, his wife Caitlin, his grandmother, his brother Jordan. Shout out to Jay, the kids, everybody in the camp. I want to just send my love to them. This has to be extremely disappointing for Jaden, man. You know, if we're disappointed, imagine how disappointed he is, and then you can only imagine how he feels to get to this point. And then to have to not be able to get out there with your guys. So, Jaden's father, Javon Hunter, is somebody I consider a friend. I've gotten to know Jaden a little bit. I know how hard that dude works. These last 9 months, he's worked his tail off, to come back better than he was. But he's resilient, man. Like, I know he's going to come back stronger. And, from what I've been informed of, it's something that, he's going to recover from 100%. And most importantly, they're really glad that they caught it early so that it doesn't linger and he can be ready for the stretch run, which is the most important part of the year, even though, he'll be back much sooner than that, obviously. But the focus is for these guys to be 100%. So we'll have to endure the next month without him. But I'm glad it's getting taken care of now. And I'm glad that we have the depth now to be able to kind of weather the storm in his absence. We're going to get to that later. And this is something that Coach Bickerstaff alluded to. You touched on it already, boss, about what he's had to say about Jay. Let's go check it out.
Earlier, the team released a statement that Jay Knight is going to be reevaluated in 4 weeks due to a knee procedure that he had. What's your thoughts on that? And have you spoken to him knowing that over these last 9 months he has worked so hard to come back and to have this setback?
It's obviously tough for him, and that's what you feel more than anything. Obviously going through what he went through last year and then working his way back and then having this happen to him. It's frustrating for him. We talked this afternoon. He just wants to get out on the floor with his guys and wants to go, compete with his teammates. But, I know J.I., he's a resilient person. And all these setbacks they don't deter him from what his ultimate goal is, and that's to be a great basketball player and a great teammate. As difficult it is for him and all of us to lose him for these first 4 weeks, I know that he's going to come back better for it.
Was it a particular play? Was it something that developed over training camp? Is there any?
Yeah, it just feel like it was something that was developing over his work, obviously from coming back, but in training camp also, he started to feel something, and then, again, we took precautions, and then the medical team did their assessments and those things, and then had to make the decision that ultimately led us to where we are today. If healthy, we have the guys that can, fill those spots. Playing with AT and the ball in his hands more. Caris has the ability to do that. We've been extremely pleased with Marcus Sasser and how he's been able to help us. We've got guys that we feel confident in, all the way to Daniss. I feel confident you put Daniss in a game right now and he can be impactful. So we're confident in how we're going to fill it. We just have to come up with the combinations that we think work best.
Some encouraging things there. What was your reaction to anything that he had to say, or a few things that jumped out at me for sure?
I think it was just, it calmed some anxiety because there's been a lot of offseason, should Jaden stay, should Jaden go? So it just obviously just shows that he has the full support of the Pistons and JB behind him. And again, with our depth, we might not have seen him as much as Sasser, but I appreciate what they are saying about him. I believe them when they say that he's made a leap. I'm excited for Jenkins. He's gone out there and shown that he also deserves the minutes. So it's just about, him coming back healthy. Yeah. And again, it was all precautionary. Like you said, they caught it early. And I think it was because they were immediately whoa, let's see what's going on. So it could be a lot worse. And right. I'd rather, start the first fourth season without him than finish the last half like we did last year. So. Great point. Money time is a playoffs. Of course, you got to get there, obviously, right? But we all know how much of a difference he could have made, he and Stu, had we had those guys available in one of the closest 6-game playoff series I've ever seen in my life. So definitely your point is well taken. A few comments here. Organic said that's a great follow-up question by Vince. Yeah, he asked him, what was it that caused it? And J.I. is hard to keep off the court. He loves playing, sometimes to a fault. If he is in any pain at times, he's like, I'm good. I'm just like, no, bro, be careful. You know what I mean? And I hate to mention it, but going back to Monty Williams, when they asked him about J.I., he said, we might as well change his home address to the facility because he's always here. So that's just who he is. And sometimes, you kind of need to be protected from yourself sometimes when it comes to that, because we all need a break. But that's how much he loves the game. He just loves playing. So I know this has to be hard for him, but he's going to bounce back. Guys, before we go any further, we're going to bring someone in who's more of a professional than I am when it comes to these kind of inquiries, things like injuries and surgical procedures and things like that. So with that, guys, we are going to invite
our guest on. We have with us Eric Thompson. Now, Eric, guys, has a degree in exercise science, so he is here to give us a little context and insight on what may be happening with the situation and how it kind of came about. So, Eric, I want to thank you for joining the show on short notice. We appreciate you making yourself available. Can you first just tell us your background in science a little bit, the exercise science you kind of talked about, and what it means for us media casuals? Because I know I'm a media casual for sure.
My bachelor's degree is in athletic training. My master's degree is in exercise science. I taught biomechanics in anatomy labs as a grad student, and I have an emphasis in higher education as well. And that is why I chose to work in money as my professional career. But that is my education and my history. So yeah, I'm relatively well versed in what he's gone through and what might have happened. Is there something specific you wanted me to address, or you just want me to kind of go off the cuff and tell you what I think?
Well, the first thing that I noticed when I went back and reread it again after I was just kind of blown away by the first part of it was that it was unrelated to the fibula injury he had in his left leg. Because that was the first thing I thought. Is this reoccurring? Is this nagging? Is this something that's going to carry over? But after reading it again, I saw that it was his right leg that he's having the issue with. So you spoke a little bit about the overcompensation part. So I'll let you kind of elaborate on that and how it could have affected him.
Well, just a statistical example is that when you hurt something like an ACL or break a leg bone, fibula, tibia is a little bit different, and I could actually share that later. But when you do those, you have a 20% chance of injuring or at least stressing the other limb, the other leg, the other weight-bearing. The biomechanics change, people compensate, and then people end up using tendons and muscles in ways that they didn't used to and probably aren't meant to be. So that's a big thing. But when you think of a 20% likelihood, that's astronomical. That's huge. The likelihood of Jaden getting the injury that he got scoped for today without the first injury is about 30 times less. So that overcompensating thing has statistical merit within the community. Biggest root causes, I think you mentioned it, rushing back. I felt like at the end of the last year he was going to come in and play still, even in that Knicks series.
Right.
Maybe he was fighting for that. But then the other one is, if you push it too hard and your biomechanics are not the same, we all respond differently, and he's probably putting more torque than any of us could dream of on those ligaments and bones.
Right.
So what the biggest part that stinks for us is that we don't get to see him for another month or so. But in terms of this being a long-term thing, the first thing I looked up was whether or not it had anything to do with his fibula or a foot bone near the fibula. That would have been a big problem too, like Jordan's injury when he was in his second year.
Okay.
So, but outside of that, normal recovery, and hopefully he's able to come back balanced and ready to go. Cade's injury, I want to touch on briefly because it's applicable. Cade's was a shin or the tibia bone.
Right.
Jaden's was a fibula. The fibula does not bear weight. It does not bear weight. Hurts, but it doesn't bear weight.
Okay.
The shin bears weight. So Cade couldn't rush back.
Gotcha.
And that's probably, speaks to why he might not have had why he wasn't in the 20% that had the same issue.
That's very, very insightful. Any thoughts on that, boss? Go ahead.
No, I love what I'm hearing. This is very informative. And the fact, thank you for putting the percentages, because it sounds like that he had a 1 in 5 chance of developing this, and then, got it early, hopefully. So
when Downtown invited me to the show, I went and did some homework.
I appreciate that, brother, for sure. I'm sure everybody who was here and everybody is definitely shouting you out, saying great guest to have. So yeah, definitely appreciate you being here. Do you think how much does not just the mental part, just the trust in that leg? Because I've never broken a leg. How much do you think that? Go ahead.
No, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. That's a big part of it. There's 5-6 core reasons. I listed 2. Fear and kind of a reluctance to move the same way that you used to move will lead to that. Absolutely.
Okay. Anything else you want to enlighten us with? Because this is some great stuff here.
Well, honestly, I just can't wait for him to be back. I fear you're right on point with that, is that if you're afraid of getting hurt on one limb, you're more likely to hurt the other limb. So, yeah,
Okay.
I'm really grateful to be on the show and the speaking time, and I would hope for a great rest of the show and a good start to our season.
Don't take this the wrong way, but I hope we don't have to have you on too much more often this season.
I can be on
talk
for
about
other reasons. I'm funny.
Right. I know you're a Pistons fan anyway, so we might have you on anyway, despite that fact. Well, listen, Eric, it's been great having you on, man. We appreciate your insight. I learned a lot tonight. I don't know about you guys. Probably the same thing with you guys. I know Boss probably did. Yep. Go follow Eric on X. You can follow him, Eric Thompson TCM. That's Eric Thompson TCM. So once again, Eric, we appreciate you coming on the show tonight, man. It's been a pleasure.
You know what? Can we got a good comment, a good question here from the
okay. Let's do it. Let's do it.
Answering it. Kind of though, is there an ongoing concern these can be more so like if it doesn't, what are we looking for at the 4-week mark and what
right? Okay. Good question.
If I'm not mistaken, and when I am mistaken, I don't mind owning it. If I'm not mistaken, this was had more to do with inflammation and fluid, not ligament, bone, tendon, muscle.
Okay.
So yeah, knees can be serious. This is not that. Now, if he has recurring inflammation in 4 weeks, we're not going to see him in 5. Like the inflammation has to die down. It has to stop. If it keeps coming back, I'm wishing. But
I got some more right here. I got you. Okay. Any more questions you see, boss?
No.
We good.
Some great shout outs. Everyone's appreciating you.
Yeah.
So thank you so much.
Go follow Eric. Go follow him. So yeah, we appreciate you, brother, for sure, man. Looking forward to talking again soon. All right, have a good one.
Thank you much.
All right. Bye. Great stuff there, man. Yeah. Glad we got a chance to. I asked him. He actually hit me up after I put something on X, and he's like, this looks like this. I'm just like, okay. So he knows what he's talking about. So thank him. I'm gonna thank him. Shout out to him for coming on so short notice, because this was like a half hour ago when we were talking about this. So appreciate you, brother. All right, man. So guys, as we get more updates on JI status, we'll be sure to get those to you. But boss, that documentary that the Pistons are dropping tomorrow night is about to hit so much different.
Yeah.
I mean, everybody was already looking forward to it already. But now it's just like, it's going to have people feeling the kind of way. Like, man, you're going to have to do this all, like not all over again, but he's going to bounce back again.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Crazy.
I mean, in the first documentary, I was crying. I was just full blown crying when they show the injury part, and I can't imagine I'm already emotional for the documentary tomorrow. It's not even out. So,
man,
I just, I appreciate JI for everything that he is and everything that he does. So he deserves to be on the court, and I know he's going to get there.
Everybody, drop a prayer in the chat, prayer emoji in the chat for JI, man. Great basketball talent. Even better dude, even better person, even better human, for sure. So, Jaden, rely on him, right? Like we talked about, Philippians 4:7, like we talked about, continue to have that peace that surpasses understanding, bro. Keep your head up.
Absolutely.
All right, guys. So now that we got that taken care of, there's a lot of aftermath that comes with this, right? A lot of questions that we all have as far as what happens with the roster on the basketball side. If you guys have any thoughts or questions, make sure you drop them all in the chat. We already see you guys, but drop them all. There's a lot to talk about right now before we get into tonight's recap, but we want to make sure we include you guys. If we miss you, you know the drill, drop a super chat or put it in caps, repost it so you guys can jump to the front of the line and get your question answered or your comment acknowledged, right? So with Jaden's sideline now, tonight we saw Duncan Robinson getting the start at shooting guard.
Yeah.
And whether or not he'll be the opening night starter, at least for me, remains to be seen. Maybe they've decided. I don't know if that is what they're going to do. But boss, I'm not going to lie. I was a little surprised to see him starting tonight. Maybe I shouldn't have been, but I thought somebody like Caris Levert would get the nod for a couple of different reasons, but I'll let you go first. What were your thoughts on that?
I agree. I thought it was going to be Caris, maybe Ron. But I wasn't too shocked seeing him. I think that, he's played in every preseason game, so they probably are like, all right, like let's see what you can do now. And I wasn't sure about Levert if he was playing or not. So it was really good to see Levert. I
Yeah.
agree with you. I wouldn't hate it if this is our starting five, but Levert, compared to the first game he played, came out with so much energy, and he brought the ball up a few times. He looked good. Did he have an amazing game? No, but he looked really good, and I wouldn't mind seeing him in the starting five as well.
Yeah, I mentioned before, we're going to get to these guys individually later, but just a little precursor. I mentioned before the season started that I thought that Caris was going to be the most important offseason acquisition, just because of his ability to play either guard spot.
Yeah.
Right, he can play the point or he can play the two. Mm-hmm. And we all know last year in the playoffs, having another guy who could do that would have helped Cade a lot.
Yeah.
To where every time he was crossing half court, he wouldn't be getting double teamed, right? That's why Jaden would have been so important. We had guys like THJ, who's a good shooter, Bees, who's a really good shooter, but we didn't have another guy who could create.
Yep.
So that was kind of what I was thinking. We would kind of go more so the route of a Caris than the route of a Duncan Robinson. But we'll see what happens. So as far as our initial thoughts, let's just kind of briefly go over those, and then we'll get into individual box scores and stuff like that. But so as far as what we saw, what I noticed, boss, and you can let me know what you saw, I noticed the mindset change tonight, right? Lead with the defense, turn it into offense.
Yep.
And they took care of the basketball pretty well. In the second half, it got a little sloppy, but when the game was still in hand or in doubt, they locked down and really took care of the basketball and executed. Yep. And we talked about it. They took their foot off the gas. They became a little disinterested after the game was over, but they got right back to it in the third quarter and rebuilt that lead. So that was nice to see. And lastly, for now, I'll pass it to you. But one word comes to mind when it comes to Cade Cunningham and Jalen Duren. And that word is chemistry.
Yeah.
Chemistry. Cade and JD, man. We already know last year they led the league in alley-oop completions, dunks. They're going to destroy that this year. Mm-hmm. Absolutely, because the chemistry now is just at a different level. You can see it. So what were your thoughts on tonight's game overall, though? What did you see?
Yeah, well, to bounce off that, I mean, there were multiple games last year and this game that JD just dunked. To score, he just had dunk after dunk after dunk from lobs from Cade.
Yep.
Same thing tonight. Well, like you said, we'll see it a lot. Looked great. My word of the whole game would be aggressiveness. Every single one came out with aggressiveness and energy. And that's, we talked about it before, but like, I'd rather see them take shots and miss them than like not take shots at all and, just fall short. So I appreciate the aggressiveness from everyone that came on the court tonight. I agree with you there. Great game. I see some of you guys already going crazy about this game for sure. Yeah, Duren, I've seen a lot of Duren comments in here. I got some comments on JD a little bit later on too. So keep the comments coming, guys. All right, so let's get to the box score, man. And let's start with none other than Cade Cunningham. Let's start with Cade. So tonight, guys, Cade has 16 points on 6 for 10 shooting, 3 of 4 from 3, 1 of 1 from the free throw line, 1 rebound, 12 assists, 2 steals, 1 block, 2 turnovers. So that's a 6-to-1 turnover ratio or assist turnover ratio. And he did all that in 24 minutes. Mm-hmm. I'll let you lead it up, boss. Thoughts on Cade tonight? I mean, he opened the game up with a beautiful reverse layup. Gorgeous. Just immediately hit the medias. NBA's posting it. Awesome way to start. Love it. The 12 assists. Love that. Because there he is. He's out there, 16 points, did his job. 12 assists, did his job. Blocks, did his job. He's everywhere. Beautiful. Mm-hmm. Beautiful. And, he was these shots, again, he's not open for them. He's driving to the basket on Alex Sarr, who's what? Right. 2? He's driving to the basket in crowds. He just was awesome. And his connection to JD, was great also. And he can just really light it up when he wants to, whenever he wants to. He can get it. Yeah, man. Detroit Drew said that live made me jump out of my seat. Yeah. Kenyatta said solid. Mm-hmm. Light day in the office. 3-4. Yeah, the league is in trouble, bro. Yes, yeah. 3-4 from 3. I said that a few shows back. We were talking about that. I was saying I think he's going to take more threes this year. Mm-hmm. You can see he's just looking more comfortable from long range. We knew last year he was a mid-range king, right? That was his game, right? But he's starting to expand. He just looks so much more comfortable getting them up now. So yeah, as far as what I saw, man, oh my God, man, what in the world? This dude, man, this is the best version of Cade we've ever seen. Yeah, absolutely. Ever seen.
I mean, and it's been consistent. It's preseason, but it hasn't been like one here and there. Like he's leaving the half with like 20 points, like consistently in 10 dimes, consistently 24 minutes. He literally played half the game.
Yeah.
And he was able to do whatever he wanted. He had 5 points and 4 assists in 4 minutes.
Yeah.
Like, come on, man. And there was a series. I actually wrote this down.
Yeah.
There's a series of plays offensively that took place. This is how it went. Opened the scoring for the Pistons with the upper under reverse scoop. Followed that up with a picture perfect lob to JD. Followed that up with a pull up 3.
Yeah.
Followed that up with another picture perfect lob to JD. That was all in the first quarter. He had a couple turnovers in the second, careless, but I'm not too concerned on that, to be honest.
Yeah.
Because he's seeing and processing the game differently.
Yeah.
The game, I say all the time, the game is slowed down. His processing speed is picked up. You can see it. And that's what happens when you get reps and you see the same thing over and over and over again. You know, that's what allows you to do those look away passes because you already know how they're gonna react. Now you're just having fun, right? So yeah, this is the best version of him we've seen for sure because we said the reps. He's got the experience now playing in this league, playoff basketball, and he just has that natural ability to see the floor. He played quarterback when he was a little kid, so he knows how to read what he's looking at.
Yeah.
And that one-handed lob was ridiculous. That one-handed pass to JD for that lob was ridiculous, man. Look like that was a Luka type pass. Like, go get it. Larry Bird-esque type pass.
Yeah.
Incredible.
I mean, like you said, comfortable kind of thing, comfortable everywhere. Just looks like he's there and he knows what he's going to do and he does his next. And even when it goes wrong or if it goes wrong, he's, fixing it. And we, plenty of lobs to JD in the beginning. Keyshawn George was giving him some issues too. And he switched that energy and said, all right, then we're going to show you how we do it. And another beautiful lob to JD with Keyshawn right on him. They have, it's just, he can change the energy. He's such a leader. He's just, there's no notes other than he's just looking fantastic.
Because some of these windows are small.
Yeah.
And he's just getting it there. You know what I mean? His accuracy, even as far as getting the ball where it's supposed to be on time, on target, is much improved as well. So you just see that he's expanding his game and getting better and polishing his game year over year over year. And this is going to be the best one yet. And then boss, defensively, he's strapping up in the preseason game. He's been as active defensively as we've seen him, just like offensively. His awareness and his activity, it's just different now. He's just looking to make a defensive play. He's just looking to be on a string defensively. He's just more alert. Yeah. He had one of his chase down blocks, his patented blocks.
Yep.
He picked CJ McCollum's pocket clean and went the other way with it. So he's really just taken on the challenge that was presented to him by coach last year of being that two-way guy.
Yeah.
He really is embracing that. And that's the kind of thing that you need to have to get into those MVP conversations.
Oh, yeah.
So get ready for that, guys. If he keeps this up, if he looks like this in the regular season, he's going to be in the MVP conversation for sure.
Oh yeah, he's handsy. He's a problem. And like I said, the NBA posted about his layup, and then they posted about his block. Right. There it is, both sides of the floor.
They know.
It's gorgeous.
They know. They see it. They find it's like they have no choice but to. Now, all right.
Yep.
Let's roll out the red carpet for him. It's his time now.
Exactly.
Let's get to a few comments here. Ryan says, I love that Cade is beyond willing to defend the rim. It's just another dynamic that separates him from other elite guards that score at will. Cade does it all. Exactly. Both sides of the ball. Yeah. Trae Young is a great offensive player. LaMelo, great offensive player, right? But defensively, it's like, where you at? You can't pick on Cade defensively. You can't try. You don't need to hide Cade defensively. You know what I mean?
He's not afraid of getting in foul trouble. He's not afraid. He's not afraid to get there.
100%. And he wasn't going to let anybody, Keontae George or whatever, try to poster him or anything like Cade's on some different stuff now. Yeah. He knows he's one of those guys. So he's acting accordingly. He's like, I'm not getting dunked on by Jalen Green anymore. That's hope you have fun. Because that stuff, like, that's why he couldn't give him that push. Like, nah, bro, what are you doing? Come on, bro. Not on me. You're going to get a nice little shove and you're going to take a hard little fall. So I love it because that's what Detroit basketball is anyway. So I love this dude. I absolutely love this dude. MVP level player. Go ahead.
Oh yeah. Yeah. I mean, I love him, but I like Lindo's comment here too, because multiple people, and we'll talk about it, but like even Sass's interview too, like coaching consistency is huge for these young guys.
Mm-hmm.
So I really agree with this, but also just, Cade is Cade, and his awareness has always been there. And I think he's just keeping it clean, keeping it smooth now.
For sure. I'm going to read this for those who are listening on the podcast. It says, Cade's offensive awareness is better than ever because this is his first year having the same coach and offense in back-to-back year. Yes. And not even just him, but JD too. But SR too. Mm-hmm. But Jaden, when Jaden comes back, him too. It's been coach after coach after coach. Dwayne Casey, Monty Williams. It was just never really any consistency. Yeah. And so that's what's made it hard for these guys to really be able to get into a rhythm. Mm-hmm. So you see, we just a little bit, just a tip of the iceberg of the experience, tip of the iceberg of the consistency you were already seeing what this young team who hasn't even come near their prime yet is doing. So future is very, very bright. All right. Let's move on to our next guy. Let's go to Duncan Robinson. So tonight, Duncan had 10 points, 3 for 8 shooting, 3 for 8 from 3. So all his shots were threes. 1 of 1 from the free throw line. I'm cool with that, by the way. Yes. 1 of 1 from the free throw line. 1 assist, 1 turnover in 21 minutes. Boss, I'll let you lead it off. What were your thoughts on Duncan Robinson tonight?
Yeah, he did his job, and he got 2 clutch threes in a row in the third. So 2 of those threes he made later on, and then it was kind of time for the reserves to come in. So he could have gotten hot. They trusted him enough to give him the ball 8 times behind the line, and that just speaks volumes already. Because he's not the one creating shots for himself. He's letting other people. He's moving around. He's not with the ball. He's moving off the ball for them to get him the shot. And and some of those shots were in and out. They weren't bad. He had like one air ball. There were a few air balls tonight from both sides of the team. So
yes, there was.
Like we said, I'd rather them be aggressive, take those shots than not. This is the opportunity to do it. So he showed, especially in the third, what we would miss from Bees if we don't get in the season.
Yeah, and so I'm gonna take a slightly different direction, but in the same ballpark. Mm-hmm. With him out there, to me, it looked a lot like the team did after Jaden went down and THJ started at the 2. Mm-hmm. I see a lot of THJ when I watch Duncan Robinson. Okay. Moving without the ball, not really a lot of dribbles. If the shot's not there, moving it and relocating. Of course, I think Duncan Robinson is a better shooter. Mm-hmm. But as far as the role, it looked a lot like THJ. Yeah. Guys who can, when they get high, it's a wrap. Like, forget about it. Yeah. Tonight, he didn't start well. But like you mentioned, he did knock down. He caught a little rhythm in the second half. Mm-hmm. He's not, so that was encouraging to see because he really hasn't been able to knock a couple down, or he was kind of like here and there. He really didn't get into a rhythm at any point before tonight. So it was nice to see him kind of let it fly. Yeah. And not worry about, okay, should I make the extra pass? If you're open, bro, that's what you brought here to do. Mm-hmm. Shoot the ball, right? And one of those was a 4-point play. Yeah. So it was nice to see too. Mm-hmm. So he didn't shoot great tonight, but I'm not worried about him. Like, he's shown over the course of his career that he can get it done. He knock down shots and do more than that when needed too.
I like the THJ comparison better. Absolutely. And I think even Kelser brought that up. Greg Kelser brought that up. Like, we kind of judged, THJ had a slow preseason last year and then, got in his rhythm. So I think you're right. I think that he can catch a rhythm just like THJ could. And THJ really pulled through for us in some games. And we'll get to him, but I like the 4-point reference because, Ron was really trying to get hot. I think, right. Trying to get hot. And then when he came in the second half, he was getting hot, but also assisting. And he was the one who assisted that from inside the paint out to Duncan. And I think that because that kind of got Ron also Ron made some big assists to help the team after definitely trying to get
he did.
It in the first half that it just didn't work out and he adjusted. So
exactly. Yeah. He didn't get down. Yeah. He just found other ways to be impactful. Like we always say about Ron Holland, he just finds a way. He's going to impact this game and leave his prints on it some kind of way. We'll get to him later. Organic Lindo made a great point. And I was talking about offensive side of the ball when I talked about that comparison with THJ and Duncan Robinson, because no shade, but we know Duncan Robinson is not a great defender, not an average defender, right? Organic says THJ's ability to take charges was so underrated. Hope Duncan can give us a bit of that too defensively. Remember last year when didn't he take a shot to the head and had to miss a game because he took a charge? I think he got Yeah, he took a charge and ran into somebody's knee on the way down, and he was down. Yeah. He had to miss a few games.
That was the Miami game, I believe, that we went into the Miami game where we won off of. It was the tournament game.
It was, wasn't it? Was it the same? Yeah. Okay.
I was watching that one recently, and I forgot about that. So when it happened, I was like, "Oh yeah, I did not like this."
Yeah, and he had to miss. I think like 2 games because I think he was on concussion protocol.
Yeah,
comes right back, first game back, taking charges. So I definitely agree. If Duncan can just give us some of that effort, it looked like he was even trying tonight to be locked in and to be active defensively. He wasn't getting a bunch of steals or anything, but he was trying to give that effort.
He was handsy. I don't think it led to a steal, but he was handsy and he threw people off. He made people pass the ball. He made people give up the ball. And I honestly credit JB with that. I'm sure JB is like, hey, let's get on your defense because JB loves his defense. So
right. Yeah, I think you're right. In season tournament, I'm seeing here, Ryan said he got stitches today. Right, he got stitches. 100%. And he kept getting knocked in the head after that too. But he kept sticking his nose in there and he kept giving his body up and he kept taking charges. So shout out to him. Ersan Ilyasova. Yeah, I remember that. I remember him for sure. All right, let's keep going, guys. Let's move on to Ausar Thompson. So, guys, Ausar Thompson tonight finished with 8 points on 3 of 6 shooting, all of 1 from 3, 2 from the free throw line, 7 boards, 2 assists, 2 steals, 1 block, stuff on the stat sheet, and 1 turnover in 23 minutes. So didn't play a lot. A lot of these guys didn't play. Nobody played over 30. So I'll come to you first. What are your thoughts on Ausar Thompson tonight?
I think this was the game he came out with the most energy, the most confidence. The numbers reflect it. Again, I think defense should be his main focus. The rebounds, the blocks, the steals. He did so well there. He took more shots. He took more mid-range shots. He took, he was 0 for 3, but he took them. Like he was aggressive on that. And his defensive plays came on hard people. He had a block on Saw again, 7-2. Right. Some big blocks, and I think 8 points. I know he can do better offensively, but that just reflects for me his defense is just so good. Yeah, he's I always refer to him often as the backbone of the defense because he just has the ability to cover up so many mistakes. He's such a really good help side defender too. Oh, yeah. He's literally, you have to keep your eye on him wherever you are in the court because we've seen him chase down guys in this, in the blink of an eye, being able to get to you. So yeah, he's a freak athlete, but he's just a good defender. He was great off ball. Yeah. I know they're trying things with him at the point to see what he can do. I feel in a pinch if they need it. Made some mistakes with the basketball, got a little loosey goosey with the basketball. Had a few near turnovers again to where it gets tipped up in the air and your guy just goes. JD's so big and strong and he jumps so high he goes and gets it anyway. But had a few like that. But he did do some good things tonight. He did rebound well, like you mentioned, going up over Alex Sarr a few times and getting the rebound because he gets so high in the air. And his defense was, of course, always on point. But like I mentioned before, I'm still not comfortable with him in that role as being that primary ball handler. When he's under control, he's great because of his speed, right? He can put a lot of pressure on the rim. And he did do that too, as far as just getting out in the break and taking advantage. But once again, I like him off the ball. I like him catching and finishing, not catching and creating. Yeah. But he also, I did notice this too, actually the last couple of games, he's been going to that left hand more. Yeah. I don't know how to feel about it. I don't know how to, because I've seen it go in, right? I've seen it go in. Yeah. Multiple times. I've seen him make that shot. Yeah. But I want to see him honestly just work on shooting with his right hand first and get consistent doing that. Yeah. He's got a ton of ability. There is a world, maybe this one, where he's a great finisher with his left hand, as good as he is with his right hand. I just feel like I want him to focus on the things he's already good at for now and kind of build out. Because I think even just with that, he's still really, really, really good, right? He's still really impactful. So, I don't want him taking a ton of threes so we can avoid the air balls. Yeah. He's just not there right now. It's okay. We don't need him to do that. Yeah. We may need him to do more now because J.I.'s out. So I understand that. But not too much. Not too much too soon. Because the things that he's really good at, he's better than 99% of the league at. Yeah. So I just want him to focus on those things and kind of branch his way out slowly. What are your thoughts on that? Yeah, I agree with you. I think, I'm gonna give him a pass on today because it is preseason, and you would hope the coaches see the same things we do.
Right.
And if he wants to work on being a primary ball handler, then that's something that he can develop over the season. It doesn't need to be something that needs to happen right away. Yeah. And we talked about last week, how they have him and Ron as the wings and these great fast wings. Like, okay, let's keep him as the wings. And I can see if Levert was in the starting lineup, he as well as Cade would set Ausar up for success.
True.
And when we get to Levert, and some of his passes were just great tonight. But I think that with the left hand too. Again, I let it tonight. Fine, it's preseason. Let's do it. I think it just needs to work on his form overall with shooting. His free, he knocked down his free throws today.
Yes,
those threes again flat, and he's even talked about it. He's like, I'm trying to work on my arch, and so it's just about translating that to the game and not just in practice. But I'm not worried. I'm not worried about his offense. He's going to be fine, and you can tell, I think a goal going into tonight too was keeping the fouls down, and I think he did a really good job. The refs weren't really calling stuff, but you can tell when there were things he disagreed with, he was vocal about it because he's trying to take pride in that. Like, I'm going to make smarter decisions on how I defend. So
I agree with that. Yeah, overall he played like individual plays here and okay, fine, right? But overall he played. He was a plus to me in this game, right? He didn't hurt the team. He was, that kind of thing. So a few comments here. Let's get to a few Ausar comments. Organic says 1 turnover is encouraging. Yes, 100%. So I'm not, like you said, it's a situation where you don't want to discourage him from ever doing it. Yeah. It's just about timing, right? So that's kind of my thing with him. But he played really, really solid. Philip says Thompson played great. Let him master what he is good at. And he doesn't need other responsibilities. Yes, other responsibilities. Let him be great at what he is great at. I'm right there with you. Ryan says, if Ausar stays out of his own head, he will be scary. I agree with that. Philip comes back. He's not a primary ball handler. He doesn't need to do that. He must play off ball. And Philip is very, very enthusiastic about that for sure. You could tell. Let's see. Organic says, I agree with you on that, Deuce. Ausar is off ball. Off ball is all NBA-esque. Yes, right. When he's at putting his best, he's really, really good. So, yeah, we'll see how that develops. Like you mentioned, this preseason, just one game. We'll see how it goes over the course of the season. But yeah, solid game from Ausar. All right. Let's go to Tobias Harris. Tobias Harris tonight finished with 9 points, 4 of 8 from the field, all 3 from 3, 1 of 2 from the free throw line, 4 rebounds, 4 assists, 2 blocks in 27 minutes. Thoughts on Uncle T?
The box score, again, when you look at it, you're like, oh, it was an okay game. But he really just has so much effect out there. Great with spacing. His shots came at clutch times when we needed it. He was aggressive on both sides. He did Tobias things. It's here. Tobias, he looked great. Except I will say, he's a vet. He keeps everybody else up to standard. And if he just for conditioning, I would love him to just run the floor and lob.
You beat me to it.
Yeah, because it's like
Brad Benson, Cade Cunningham. Y'all need to have a meeting with Tobias Harris, man. These lobs.
Then he's well-rounded. He's the perfect vet. If he can just, for 20 minutes while they're running, just lob, come back around, run, lob.
Man,
20 minutes for a week. It's good.
As I was watching, because you could see it was coming 2-on-1. You could see him up. I think was it JD that was up ahead. That was calling for it? Who was it?
I think it was.
Was it Ausar? Ausar. Okay, Ausar was calling for it. Yeah. And anytime you got Ausar in the break, you're not supposed to not convert that. You have to. And so as I see it developing, I'm thinking to myself, all right, he ain't gonna throw a worse pass than last time. He threw a worse pass than last time. At the bottom of the backboard.
Better and harder.
He threw it at him like he was mad. Like, bro, what do you do to you? It was sorry to try to corral it and go back up or not. But yeah, that's the only thing. It was we not serious, but it was just funny watching it again. Like, come on, Tobias. Like, you Uncle T, but you ain't that old, bro. You could throw a lob. Come on. Give us one. But that was it. I mean, aside from that, he got the post game going. Mm-hmm. He was abusing those guys in the post. Oh, yeah. They couldn't do anything with him. Not a lot of guys can because he's got great footwork and he's just very polished around the rim. So yeah,
beautiful turnaround shots too. Most of them were driving on the guy, just turning and shooting. So,
yep. And defensively, he's still continuing to bring that effort. Right, you can see him still being handsy and active, getting back. Like he's talking. Like he's really just bought into this team, man. I love to see it. Absolutely. In year 15. Yep. Year 15, man.
Looks good.
Shout out to him too for taking care of his body. I saw him in practice do a windmill. Anybody see that?
So
Anybody. Like me and Eric were talking about that because Eric has always said, shout out to Eric Vincent, Top Talk Detroit. He's always said, like, we always see Tobias doing like respectful two-handed dunks in games. And then it's like, it's like, bro, he got 20-inch vertical, bro? You can't get up. Like, and then you see him in practice, like doing windmills. Like, okay, let me get just one of those in the game. Just one.
We will.
That's all I ask for. If you can do the practice, I got to see it in the game. But yeah, shout out to him. All right. Let's go to JD, guys. Jalen Duren, man. Jalen Duren tonight had 20 points on 8 for 10 shooting, 4 from the free throw line, 6 rebounds, 1 assist, 2 steals, 3 blocks, 1 turnover in 19 minutes. Have at it. Have at it.
Okay, well, first I got to correct myself because now I see it in my notes. It wasn't Ron that passed for the 4-point play, at least for Robinson. It was Jaden with that beautiful bounce pass screen for Robinson to get open. And like he immediately bounced pass screened. And his screens were solid tonight.
Wait, who made the pass? Who made the pass?
Duren. He bounced.
Oh, okay, got you. Got you.
Behind him and then screened the guy. So Robinson open. It was like immediate. It was
yeah.
And all of his screens tonight were solid too. That's just, I mean, that's the huge thing from last year. Him and Stu, both got called it multiple times, like any really player could for offensive foul for those. But he looked great. I just noticed that he stayed put. He stayed put in every screen.
Go ahead. Finish.
3 blocks, amazing. Steals, amazing.
Mm-hmm.
He said he had 20 points. 2020 games are going to be a thing for him this year for sure. Some blocks to steal. I love the block on Bagley. I was with us. I'm rooting for Bagley's success. I think he's a
oh man,
guy, but his defense was, 20 points, but like his defense, it was his defense. And dunks, hook shots. He did great.
You can mention any stat, and it'll be applicable to him because he did it all tonight, man. Yeah. He literally did it. Okay. So I'm going to just take a step back for a second.
Mm-hmm.
There were actual people out there last year that was saying Jalen Duren was a bust, saying he wasn't a good player, he was overrated, and that we should trade him for guys of Nikola Vucevic and Nick Claxton. I'm going to just leave that right there. I don't think there's anything that needs to be said about that other than whatever you got, I need some of that.
Was that the beginning of the season when he was slow?
Yes. Yes, it was. And I kept telling everybody, patience. This dude is 20 years old. Yeah. He was 20 at the time. And if you trade him on a rookie deal, what are you going to get in return? What are we talking about? So you just needed to give this guy time. Cade wasn't the only guy who didn't have the consistency, like we talked about, right? So so a far cry from that. You don't hear that at all now. This dude had 10 points in the first 5 minutes.
That's crazy. All dunks.
All on dunks, all from Cade. Yes, man. I don't even know where to start. This dude, first of all, his energy, you mentioned his energy was great. Great energy. He had a steal. I think it was on Alex Sarr.
Yeah.
And had an open court dunk early in the first quarter.
Yep.
Great chemistry with Cade. The chemistry with Cade is at an all-time high. If you guys remember, about a month ago, JD was asked about, his relationship on the court and off with Cade. And basketball-wise, he said he went to where Cade was to go work out with him. He went to where he was. He didn't say we met up at a neutral site. He didn't say, Cade came to me, he went to where he was. That was important for me to hear that because JD understands now that a lot of his success is going to be predicated on Cade's success.
Yeah.
And I think he's understanding now how good of a point guard Cade is and how much he can help JD offensively to where he's just getting if you get that chemistry tight, your points become easier and easier to get. That's how you go 8 for 10. He can literally, this dude, it can get really, really scary really, really quick with these two guys, man. His footwork looks improved. Yeah. He looks really comfortable out on the court, calling for the ball. Cade was dumping the ball off to him under the hoop, getting them easy buckets. JD showing some of that footwork off. It was a couple loose balls that got away from him. that he could have had even more points. But, that happens sometimes. I'm not worried about that. But defensively, like when he's challenging at the rim now, he's going straight up. Yep. He's not jumping at guys, getting as many cheapy fouls as he used to get, right?
Yep.
So his defense has improved. And he credited coach Vitaly Potapenko, right? That he used to play in the NBA. Yeah. He gave him a lot of credit. So he's learned a lot from him about the mental part of the game. So, and you can see it. He had that strip on Bagley you mentioned. It was funny because that was funny to me just watching that play because Bags was in the post trying to post JD. Yep. He tries to like bump him to create space. JD's feet never even come off the floor. Nope. Like he doesn't even move.
I was gonna say you can play that to teach young kids how to defend without fouling.
Man,
straight up, didn't move his wrist for the ball.
He didn't even have to jump on that play. Like Bag tried to move him, and JD was just like, "What are you doing?"
And and maybe old JD, younger JD, even though it's crazy, he's already young.
Right.
JD might have bit. He might have pushed. He might have, lowered his hand, swatted at the ball, he might have jumped. Nope. And that's Marvin Bagley again, big guy.
Right.
So that was beautiful. And I have to say, the steal on Sar, that was a perimeter steal.
Perimeter steal. And
usually, you're like, don't worry about those guys out there, back off. No, he read it perfectly and he did it well. I think Sars is a 3-point shooter. He is a 3-point shooting big, but JD again steal at the perimeter where he's also defending at the rim. So
right, exactly, 100%, yeah. And I know I said it already, but it was just so funny watching that play with Bags. Yeah, Bags tries to go up for the shot. JD just just knocks it away, grabs the ball, toss it. He tossed it like he was offended. Like you try to body me, bro. Yeah. Like, I ain't the one. So it was just funny. If you go back and watch it, you'll see. Yeah. Stripped the ball, grabbed it. Like,
JB's like,
get out of here, bro. Yeah. There's levels to it. Yeah. So, guys, I am going to say this now. I know it's preseason. I know it's the last game of the preseason. I know it's early. I know I always talk about, letting the season play out. I was saying it the reverse way for JD last year because he wasn't playing well. Let it play out. So, these may sound a little bit inconsistent, but just based off what I've seen, if JD keeps this up, I'm predicting that he is going to join Cade Cunningham in the All-Star game this year. Their chemistry right now, man, is at an all-time high. And once again, like I always say, that's what reps and time will do for you. Cade is a very unselfish player. He can get buckets at will, but he's a very unselfish player. And you can see he's looking for JD every single time. Every time. And JD has also improved his free throw shooting. That's one thing we talk about all the time with these guys, right? And I think tonight he was 4 for 4. 4 for 4. So that was something last season I was hoping to see improve. Because early last year, I was on him a little bit. Like, because it was because I knew how good he could be. I knew this was what we could get from every night. But early last year, he was shooting like 58% to start the year. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, come on, you better than that, JD. Come on. And now we see he's had this all along. It's just really just focus and maturity and growing for him. So if he's able to knock down his free throws like that, and Cade is feeding him, and their chemistry is there, and he's creating space for Cade to get the ball back to JD, I don't see why JD can't average 18 and 12 easily next year. The way he runs the floor, how active he now is on the glass. That's not even counting the mid-range that he's eventually trying to add. That's not even counting that. That's just of sheer athleticism and physicality and having a great point guard. Yeah. That's literally it. He's 21. He's already doing this. At 24, 25, what's he going to be? Scary. If he continues this, man, the Pistons are going to get a deal done for him. Trust me on that for sure. They are not going to let him get away if he's doing this.
No. And gosh, the Vucevic comments are funny. And I just have to bring it up because I got to see, Vucevic in action days ago with the Nuggets. And probably one of the biggest things that stood out to me is, he's going against Jokic. So I guess I give him the benefit of the doubt. But a lot of people say Jokic doesn't play D. So should I give him the benefit of the doubt? But Vucevic had 5 points and none scored in the second half, or none scored till the second half. And I'm he only had 10 rebounds. I'm just thinking Duren and Stu and even Paul Reed, they're going to run over him.
Yep.
No reason for them to, I know it was a preseason game for them, but just what I've seen, that I think that our bigs are going to run over Vooch, and it's going to be huge to have
Yep.
that going into our season opener. So.
Yeah, especially with the new and improved and much bulkier now Paul Reed, who we've seen as well. But there was a comment here I saw from Ryan P. He says, organic, it looked like J.I. and J.D. had immediate chemistry from opening tip of the summer league, their rookie season. I hear you on that. So what did organic say? Let me go back. Organic said, scary part is J.I. and J.D. have, J.I. and J.D. have similar chemistry too. Yes, which makes Ivey being out a bit more frustrating. Yes, because when Cade was out in his second year, when he had the tibia fracture and he had to have surgery on that, that was when it was the Jaden Ivey show with Jalen Duren. And you saw their connection. The picture, somebody remade the picture of LeBron and D Wade when they were doing this, and JD had his tongue out, and you know what I mean? So like they had chemistry too. Yeah. Like we see what Cade and JD are. We see that. But we also saw it was different, but it was still a connection there with Jaden also because of his speed being able to get to the rim. And then now the defense comes in, now JD's open, right? So in different ways, these guys can be very, very effective in a two-man game.
Right.
And that's why I wanted to see them play together.
Yes.
But, you know, it is what it is.
But, you know, it's a compliment to JD, too. I think I think he can build a chemistry with Levert. I think he can build a chemistry with Jenkins. I think that he can build a chemistry with anyone if he's consistently, you know, getting open near the rim, which he just does. It's like pick and rolls and stuff like that. However he does it, he gets the defender off him enough for the guy to get it to him at the rim, and he finishes the job. Right,
100%. Really quickly, guys, I see it's been resolved now, but somebody was asking why you had a Knicks jersey on. So I'm going to take this comment down and let you pull your jersey up.
Yeah. Isaiah Thomas. It's a Zeke practice jersey. I would never.
They had to make sure.
Lighting too, but it's my Zeke practice jersey. So.
Organic said there's no P, T, or O in a Knicks jersey.
It's big too. I hunt the deals. A bunch of my Pistons jerseys I got out here on Marketplace where people don't respect the Pistons. So I think I got this for $6. It's too big on me, but I'm gonna take it. It's a Zeke practice jersey.
Man, come on, man. Exactly. Yeah, we don't do Knicks jerseys or anything of that kind over here. You know what I'm saying? That's just not what we. The furthest I'll go is wearing the SMU because Cade Cunningham with the SMU and Coach Jeremy Hart, who coaches and trains Daniss Jenkins, coaches at SMU. But I'm still got the red, white, and blue just like you. So that's as furthest I'll go. Furthest I'll go.
See how it looks a little orange, but it's my lighting. I'm figuring it out. I don't have a nice studio.
Oh, you good. They got you covered in the comments too. They came to your defense.
Oh, I know that. Yeah. I'm glad we cleared it up. I don't want any false pretenses.
He said, "I'm sorry, bad boys for life, over Pistons." It's all good, fam. It's all good. All right, let's keep moving. Let's go to some of the reserve. We talked about the starters. Go to reserves. Let's start with Caris Levert. So tonight, guys, Caris Levert had 3 points, 1 of 4 shooting, 1 of 3 from 3. 3 boards, 1 assist, 1 block, 1 turnover in only 10 minutes. So what was your reaction? What were your thoughts on Caris tonight?
He came out with way more energy than when I saw him at first. And, you know, maybe that's why he was rested. Maybe something was bothering him. So they're like, let's just cool it off. Because then he came out and I'm like, I'm excited. I'm excited for Levert. And there was one play where he drove it to the basket all the way to the rim. And 3 guys collapsed, immediately kicked it out to Robinson for the corner 3. I mean, they have a connection already for playing at Michigan together. Mm-hmm. I was like, it was almost like I was surprised that it wasn't a shot, and it was then a beautiful pass. And he just made some beautiful passes tonight. I appreciated the energy. He was trusted with the ball to bring it up the court. I loved what I saw.
Yeah, I did too. It was a little bit uneven to me. You know, it wasn't a perfect game. He did have a couple turnovers in there, which I think he'll get those down. You know, once again, I say it all the time, but you got to get reps. Mm-hmm. You got to understand what your role is. A lot of time it looked like he was trying to take his man ISO. Yeah. So we're going to see him moving the ball more and him moving without the basketball more. Once he figures out what he's doing with them, it's going to take time to get up to speed with, you know, things like that. But, you know, so I am, you know, that didn't really bother me too much. You know, we got to keep in mind, guys. We said this last year when THJ his first 10 games, it wasn't great. Tobias, first 20 games wasn't great. Right? Because those guys hadn't played together before. Mm-hmm. Second half of the season, you saw how they looked, like a well-oiled machine. Yeah. So it's going to take time for all these guys to gel together and to learn each other. So I'm not concerned about him at all. He's got two-way ability. He's a great offensive player, and he knows JB Bickerstaff.
Yeah.
So he may be to teach these guys something about him that he learned when he was coached by him. So not worried about Caris at all. He'll be fine.
Yeah. And like you said, it's about, consistency, and he was out for the two preseason games before this. So
Right.
I liked what I saw in going into the season. This was better than his first game, I would say.
Yeah, I agree. Ryan says it looks like Duncan and Caris are still figuring out their role and not wanting to disrupt any chemistry for guys who are already here. 100%. They'll be fine in due time. That's it. That's literally it. Mm-hmm. I have nothing to add to that. That's exactly what it is. It takes time to find what your role is. You don't want to come in just trying to do too much and messing everything up, right? So that's not what good teammates do. So I don't mind this because at least the approach is right and he'll eventually grow into what he needs to be. So I'm not worried at all. Imperiori says Colby Jones. Colby Jones shout out. Looks like he's got something around the ball. Both sides looks comfortable. Hit shots. Yeah, we're gonna get to all these guys individually, including the little Colby Jones. So we'll get to him too. Anything else on Caris? That's all I got for him.
I think Levert will become an impact. I hadn't seen enough to make that judgment, but I have the intuition he'll play an important part to our success, and I think we all have that intuition. I think he'll clean it up a little bit, and he'll be great. So
100%, I agree. All right, let's go to LaRon Holland. Dog Pound Jr. tonight had 4 points on 2 of 2 shooting, all of 1 from the free throw line, 3 rebounds, 4 assists, 1 steal, 3 turnovers in 22 minutes. Thoughts on Ron?
That's funny that it's 2 for 2 shooting, because I know that he had a few times where he just, I guess, lost the ball, didn't get the foul call, drove to the basket. He tried hard, but like I mentioned earlier, like he wanted to get going. You could tell he wants to get to the rim. He wants to dunk. He's ready. Yep. Then he just changed his approach and started assisting, and he knew that his time would come, and then he took advantage when it did. It went 100%, 2 for 2. It's 100%. So
right,
take it.
Right. Yeah, he finds ways to be impactful, man. Like we talked about it last year too. I like his ability to board and push, right? Just be able to grab the rebound and go. Yep. I love that ability. He's very comfortable with the ball in his hands. Mm-hmm. He found Duncan. I think that was Duncan Robinson for open 3. Was that Duncan? He just didn't knock it down, but he found him and got into the paint, 2 feet of paint, found him. So his vision is there. His playmaking is there. He made some nice passes for some easy shots. His handle looks more improved. Yeah, right? Go ahead.
He had a nice pass inside to Paul Reed. Like he was passing in the rim and passing out. He was going out and passing in. He made great decision making with his assists. I have to say.
Yeah, 100%. His trainer Charles Hill, shout out Charles. When he was here, he said that was something they were working on too, as far as just his playmaking. Mm-hmm. And you can just see how comfortable he looks with it. He's always trying to make the right play. Yeah, always trying to do the right thing. On one play, he caught the ball at the top of the key, 1 dribble step. Get a step by your guy and create just a little bit of gravity, kick it to the corner for Colby Jones 3. Yep. Right? Simple. Yep. Simple, but impactful. So we already know defensively what he's going to bring. But as his offensive package becomes more and more polished with time, he's going to be a really good player. And don't be surprised if he also gets some looks off the bench in that point forward role because he can do that as well a little bit. So we'll see if they do that as well. Yeah. Anything else on Ron?
No, I think he did great. And again, I'm excited. He's working on his shots. We didn't get to see him take a lot of mid-range or 3-pointers today, but that on top of the assists, he can really if he's hot like that.
100%. Yep, agreed. Organic says Ron is a great connector. Yes. Ron came in as a rookie acting like a multi-year vet. Yes, hardly rushing on offense and always looking first for open play. Yeah, it didn't take long, even as a rookie, for us to see this dude just makes things easier in the court. He just brings something different. He just finds a way to impact the game. Go ahead.
Such a good point. It's only his second year.
Yeah.
Such a good point.
Extremely early. Yeah. All right. Let's go ahead and go to Isaiah Stewart, Dog Pound Senior. 2 points tonight on 1 of 3 shooting, all of 1 from 3. 3 boards, 1 block in 7 minutes. So Stu didn't play a lot tonight at all. Stu was just, I don't even have any real notes on Stu. He was just doing Stu things, real solid. Nothing eye popping, just doing his job, doing the dirty work in 7 minutes. He didn't really have a lot of time to even get into a rhythm.
Yeah. What we haven't mentioned tonight was the 2 big lineup.
Go ahead. Have at it.
Stu and JD. I loved it. I was so excited that they did this because I've mentioned it to you before that there are some teams like the Cavs who have Mobley and Allen in it multiple times, like OKC who have Hartenstein and Holmgren in it multiple times.
Mm-hmm.
When I'm excited that they explored this because it worked well. And, Stu was at the 4, but he was still in the paint doing his job, everything. So I'm glad in his limited minutes that we got to see him on the 2 big lineup because I loved it. I thought it was great.
It's going to be needed. I mean, the Knicks, the Bucks, there are a lot of teams in the East, especially that we're going to have to face at some point in the season that, we can't be bullied. We can't be outsized. So I wouldn't be surprised if at times we saw, maybe a starting lineup that included them at some point. I'm not saying it's going to happen, but I think if it becomes so glaring that we're just outsized in the starting unit against those bigger teams, I wouldn't be surprised if an adjustment is made. And that's nothing against Tobias because Uncle T plays all of his size. If he plays all of 6'8", he plays sometimes like 6'9", 6'10" at times when he needs to, right? He just gives a little extra.
Yeah.
But you can't teach size. And having Stu and Jaden in the court at the same time and have that inside-outside game, now that Stu's shooting a 3 at a better clip or a consistent clip, 40%, right? So I could see it.
Yeah. And I think just a good point that, it doesn't have to happen all the time. I actually don't want to see it every starting lineup.
Right.
Matchups, let's do it. We don't, we don't have to have the same starting 5 or, we can get them in early. We did get Stu in pretty early.
Right.
JD was in there for a long time too. He didn't rest for a while because he started and then he missed the first and second round of I'm missing the word replacements. I can't think of the word.
You're good.
But I liked what, and again, no really notes other than that because he just came out and did Stu things. He got the dunks, he got the blocks, he got the rebounds, he got the screens. He did Stu things. So
Organic says a Stu and Duren lineup will be mandatory versus the Cavs, versus the Bucks, versus the Knicks. I'm just saying, like, there are a lot of teams that are going big now. So it's like, at some point, unless you have a glaring advantage on the offensive side of the ball, it may make sense to make the adjustment to the adjustment, if that makes sense. So we'll see how it plays out. But Stu is going to do what Stu does always. And, looking forward to it. Go ahead.
When we have guys like B-Ball Paul who have been showing a lot of effort, and then it's not almost so worrisome that we don't have like a big, like having those guys on the court at the same time, but then knowing that we have someone like B-Ball Paul, hopefully like Tolu for some games, like having that is that's also a compliment to them. Like, hey, we trust you. Right. These guys need to be out together or get into foul trouble, and we need another guy to come in, which is what happened tonight. So
just having that depth, like we always talk about, right? That's why I think some of the guys who were with the Crews last year, we're going to get to, are going to spend more time with the Pistons this season for that very reason. So, 100% agree. All right, let's go to Paul Reed. You just mentioned him. So tonight, Paul Reed, B-Ball Paul had 11 points on 4 or 5 shooting, 3 or 4 from the free throw line. 5 boards, 2 assists, 1 steal in 13 minutes.
Crazy.
13 minutes. Thoughts on B-Ball Paul?
The 4 of 5 shooting, 5 rebounds, assists, like in 13 minutes is just nuts. I loved he got me amped with that. He got a rebound to that buzzer beater. That was exciting. Love to see it. Again, he's just, like you said, he's getting bigger. He's getting more involved. He's had beautiful moves at the rims. There's time, you're just like, don't bring the ball down when you rebound it. Both times he did, he managed to, use his footwork, use his body and get it back up and get the basket. It's just crazy that in 13 minutes, like he's such a pest in the biggest pest I've ever seen. He just never gives up.
Yeah. And like, I think your point is taken about like, because like I think last year, and I agree with you. I think last year I would describe him as a pest.
Yeah.
This year I'm describing him more as an enforcer.
Okay.
Just because he's stronger now. Like last year, he looked like he could have used some extra pounds against the Mitchell Robinsons and the Cats of the world, right? But it was just all out effort. But this year he just looks more imposing. He looks stronger, more like an enforcer around the rim. You can see he's not that he was getting bodied before, but he was kind of getting lifted off his feet a little bit more last year. But now you can see he's much more solid in finishing plays defensively. So it's nice to see, like you said, that we have that third big and maybe even fourth big when needed at times that we can comfortably go to.
Yep.
Without being afraid or having to monitor how many minutes. Just go ahead and go. We need you.
Yeah, I would say that, this whole preseason, we've had a lot of guys be consistent, but he's really been consistent in just his energy and how he's approaching the game. He's showing that this is what he does. So that I appreciate from him so much.
Organic says B-Ball Paul is low-key fascinating. Mega says B-Ball Paul is probably our best rebounder. That's interesting. I would still go with JD.
Yeah.
And then I think it's a push with Stu and B-Ball Paul, because both of those guys are good rebounder. I'll probably still give the edge to Stu just because he's so physical. He's so physical. Like, he does all the little things. He's getting in position to box out as soon as shots. Like, he knows all the tricks. Stu knows all the tricks, man. So, but it's close. It's a good problem to have, to not be able to know sometimes, between those guys. So that's a good thing.
Paul Reed's a great rebounder because he doesn't give up. Man, he's
right.
100%.
Yeah. Ryan says he's unassumingly savvy with his moves on offense. His ability to get the loose ball and make the right pass. Yeah, it's funny because he just talked about that today. I forgot who was asked the question. It was beat reporter for Pistons. And they just asked him about that, as far like has he got, or basically like how has it been making an adjustment to being a good role player? Because he has the ability. He's shown the ability with the Sixers to get buckets.
Yeah,
and that was referenced. I think he had like a 27-13 game with them one time. So he was like, it's not always easy, just kind of adapting and taking on a smaller role, doing this for your team, right? But he said that's what good teams do. Sometimes you got to do the hard things for the betterment of the team. So he's accepted that he's just going to have a role, and he's not going to be asked to do too much offensively and scoring 15 to 20. But he has shown he has talent offensively to get buckets when he needs to. But more importantly, he's just solidified in his role, and he's bought into that, and that's maturity. That's what you want a teammate.
He's kind of seeing what we saw from Sasser last year. It's like how we always talk about how Sasser's always ready to go when he's called upon. Same energy.
Yeah, that's true.
Always ready to go when he's called upon.
I agree. Ray Floyd says, how do we feel about Duren's defense? Bro, go back like 20 minutes in that video, bro. We just talked about him at length, but we are feeling great about him. Much more disciplined. That's probably the biggest thing you could say is just discipline. He's not getting 2 fouls, within the first 2 minutes of the game, and having scored the first 2 buckets, and now you got to sit down. Like, it's, that was frustrating, right? He's making himself more available by being smarter. So going straight up, when the ball goes up, just going straight up, not always trying to get a block, just making the right play and relying on your teammate help side to get the rebound, Ausar, which he was doing, right? Like that's all what goes into it. So they seem to be more connected. You saw Ausar going up a few times, helping out JD help side, and just going over Ausar and getting the rebound. So that was good to see. It's good to see that connectivity and that trust in each other. So I love it.
Yeah.
I love it. All right, guys, let's go ahead and move on to my guy, Tank, Daniss Jenkins, man.
God.
Daniss Jenkins tonight, guys, had, what did he finish with? Daniss finished with 11 points on 4 of 7 shooting, 1 of 1 from 3, 2 of 2 from the free throw line, 1 rebound, 3 assists, 1 steal, 2 turnovers in 16 minutes. Reaction to DJ.
Loved him. He also, the first play he came in, did a drive to the basket, should have shot it, questioned himself, I think, a little bit, passed it out, it led to a turnover. Then he made up for it with the 3. And I think that his confidence, like Coach Hart says, trust your work. I think it and then he looked good. He had my favorite play of the day. In 20 seconds, he drove to the basket, that really pretty drive, had the nice layup, then he stole it, then he assisted it to Ausar, who scored it. Less than 20 seconds. He comes back in the 4th, but there's like 4 minutes left. Less than
you
4
saw
minutes.
that.
Immediate layup score. I was very excited to see him because I was very excited to see him with just that little time left, because to me, especially with JB also mentioning it in the presser, that just shows like he's a main contender for a fill-in JI, and I would applaud that. I would love that. He just looks so good. His assists, the way he's reading stuff, his defense.
Yeah.
It just coming out, especially after last game, had such a good first start in the NBA, and now he's coming out doing what we expect him to do.
Yeah. I'm really happy for him, man. Nobody really saw him. I won't say nobody. A lot of people never saw him doing this. He's been doing this for a while now, close to this level for a while now. I saw somebody on Twitter. I'm not sure I forgot who it was now, but somebody said when they see Daniss Jenkins, they see Pistons Derrick Rose.
Okay.
And I said, you know what? I kind of see that. Because we know D Rose when he came here wasn't the same. He wasn't Chicago D Rose, but he was very steady. Still has some athleticism, right? Could break you down and get a bucket when needed, especially in that perimeter game. He's gonna knock down the open three, and he's a floor general. Takes care of the basketball. I see a lot of that in Daniss Jenkins.
I could see that's such.
I see a lot of that
because
very
this is a young guy.
Go ahead. Yeah. Like I see that compared. He's just a good basketball player. It's funny what you mentioned though. Late in the game. I think you said 5 minutes left. Yeah. And the Pistons, I think they were just trying to get some guys opportunity, right? Yeah. But at the time, they really didn't have a true point in the game, a true point guard. So guys like Tolu Smith, who was out there, wasn't really able to do much because he didn't have a table setter. You could see Tolu, he had the ball and he's trying to get it to his point guard and he's literally pointing like, go this way so I can set the screen to give you the ball. And then the shot clock runs out and Tolu's like, come on, man. Yeah. As soon as I saw that, As I look to the scores table, I see Daniss Jenkins running like this, running to the scores table, and I lost it because I already knew coach was like, all right, we got to get this offense rolling again. Like it's bogged down, and he comes into the game and they immediately like score 5 points in the first 30 seconds. Yep. Like immediately, just sets the table, gets buckets for his teammates. Like so, he just knows how to play the point guard position, man. He just knows how to play it. And when we got that unfortunate news about J.I., I tweeted that, this could be a good opportunity for a guy like Daniss Jenkins to be a factor for the foreseeable future or for the next month, just because of the domino effect of losing one of your starters. So I think that not in the same way, and maybe not at the same level to start, but I think eventually, if needed, Daniss can fill that Dennis Schroeder type of role impact-wise for the Pistons as long as they need him to. Yeah. As far as just being the floor general, setting the table, playing scrappy defense. He's a better athlete. He's shown he can shoot the three ball. Like he's got it all. Yeah. And it's so ironic that when J.I. went down the first time, it was Schroeder. And now J.I. goes down and now you see Daniss Jenkins getting those minutes, right? So it's just nice to see him playing at this level. He takes care of the basketball. He's got range. He's super duper athletic and he's a defensive dog. Yes. He's a dog on the defensive end, man. He's got all the things you want in a point guard. And like I say all the time, the more reps he gets, because he's really for the first time getting serious in-game reps at the NBA level with these guys. They really are kind of strangers at this point, just trying to work off the foundation. Yep. That's really it. Organic says Daniss just needs reps for his familiarity, exactly, and confidence. That's literally what reps are for. Familiarity, build chemistry, and build confidence in your coach and yourself. That's literally what they're for. Like you can't simulate that. So as time continues to pass and he gets more reps with these guys, you're going to see a better and better and better version of Daniss Jenkins. I was texting with Jeremy Hart. Shout out Jeremy, Coach Hart. He was on the last episode. Check that out. But he texted me. He was just like, bro, 7 points in 8 minutes. I was like, I know, bro. I know. So yeah, I'm really happy for those guys, man. It's good to see, coach being able to benefit too, watching his guy that he's been with for a long time. And, Daniss is always ready, man. He's always ready to go. He knows it's his moment. So shout out to him, man. We're going to see a lot more, I think, of him, especially the next month or so.
I agree.
One more thing. Greg Kelser said something that's an absolute fact about Daniss Jenkins. He said Daniss Jenkins hasn't taken a bad shot all preseason. Mm-hmm. I mean, there isn't a greater cosign than having somebody like that say that. Yeah. Because it just speaks to your ability to not turn the ball over. We always talk about that. The best way for this team to help their defense is their offense. Mm-hmm. If they don't turn the ball over, they take care of the ball, their defense can set up. Yeah. And when your defense can set up, you can turn teams over. So it's a spinning wheel theory, right? So it all starts with defense. And it all starts with being able to have your defense set by not turning that ball over. Now you're on your heels. Yeah. And he does that to a T. So like Coach said, and I'm not surprised he said it, we're going to see some more of him for sure going forward. 100%. All right. Let's go on, guys, we got a few more guys and we'll call it a night. Let's go to Chaz Lanier. So Chaz Lanier, guys, tonight had 9 points on 3 for 8 shooting, 3 of 7 from 3, 4 assists, 1 steal, 1 block in 23 minutes. What did you think of Chaz tonight?
I liked it. I liked him a lot. He hit his first three, and then he hit his first three in the checking in the second half. So that's promising. Come in immediately, get warm, get hot. He had, I don't know if he was the one to steal it or whoever was guarding whoever it was bringing up the ball, but he got that. He threw the ball up from the court to AT for a beautiful lob pass.
Yeah.
He was moving well. I think he's getting more confident with the team and how they move, because he was where he needed to be. And he had that nice at the end of the game, they called the play just for him at the end of the play. I saw it, he had that pick and pop, but then it drew his defender to Jenkins. And because he wasn't the one who screened it, but this guy came off to screen Jenkins, and he was able to get over to him, and he hit that three. It was beautiful.
Yep.
They ran a play just for him. He delivered. I'm excited. He had a couple of shots we talked about last time with King, like where it was like almost too fast off the fingertips because he was trying to get it off. But other than that, I think he took better settled threes, and I think he did really well. And his defense did pick up also. I'm excited for. So I think he did great.
I noticed that too, the defensive intensity. Everybody's buying into that end. I think everybody understands you're not going to play unless you have that.
Not for JB.
You don't get, not for JB, which is probably why we see Duncan giving us a little bit extra.
Yep.
Right. So it's just good to see that for sure.
Yeah.
But you said it. He looked to me, he looked very comfortable on both sides. He's getting comfortable in his offense coming off screens and getting it up. It's almost like he needed somebody to tell him, bro, when you catch it off the screen, if you got any room, any daylight, pull it. That's why you're here. Just like Duncan Robinson.
Yeah.
Like you guys are some of the best shooters on this team. So don't defer if you have an open shot.
Yep.
You are the end of the possession in a situation. Exactly. It's either going to go in or it's not. Like we're not passing open shots, not you guys. So it's nice to see that he has the confidence to be able to take it and not feel like he's taking too many shots, because now he's not in his own head. He knows it's a good shot, even if it doesn't go in. It's a good shot.
Yep.
So it's good to see that. And like you mentioned, the defense, he's showing the ability. He's better defensively than I thought. Yeah. Not that I ever thought he was a bad defender. He came from a defensive program, right? But it's just I never saw it. So it's just nice to be able to see it now and to see it in action. He's solid. Yeah,
I think he's quick. He stays in front of his guy. He can get back out to defend. I think that's huge.
Right. Exactly. Let's see through a few comments here. It says Chaz will be nice. I like his fearless shooting approach. Right. 100%. He will continue to be a work in progress, but I think he will earn a small rotation role soon enough. I can see it. Like the domino effect we mentioned. Who knows how it's going to look? Maybe they don't even know yet how it's going to look as far as combinations and rotations, right? Still early, but you never know. It could be a guy who establishes himself in practice and really stands out in practice and then gets a shot to earn and keep those minutes on the court. So we'll see. But we have a lot of options. And it's just nice to see, even though we lost J.I., it's like, all right, we got it. Don't worry. We'll hold the fort down. Yeah. We're going to be all right. Don't worry. You can only do that when you have a deep team.
Exactly.
Right. So there's no gaping hole on this team right now because we lost one of our best guys. It hurts.
Yeah.
But we can compensate enough until he gets back. And that's all you want.
Yep.
Take your time, J.I. All right. Let's go to Javonte Green, guys. Tonight he had 3 points, 1-for-1 shooting overall, and that was a 3-ball. Yeah, 4 rebounds in 7 minutes. So not too much to report on Javonte. Anything you see that stood out?
He bothered Kispert. He bothered Kispert.
He did.
Nice. And he didn't give up. Again, moving around 7 minutes, he hit his 3 when he got it. 4 rebounds in 7 minutes, I think is very impressive too. I think he touched the ball a lot tonight, but great on defense. I love his energy. I've told you, I think that there's something I've just noticed the way that Cade advocates for him and roots for him on the bench. I think that there's a connection between Javonte and Cade. We didn't see it because Cade didn't play when he was on. So I think that we're going to see a lot of him too when called upon. He's delivering. So I like you said, I appreciated what he gave tonight. I think he gave it his all. I really loved his defense on Kispert, and then he didn't stop with any other defensive possession either. So
right, yeah, he's just a very solid player. He's a winning player.
Yeah,
he's a definitely winning player. He's a 3-and-D dog. That's what I call him. He's a 3-and-D dog. Like he moves well without the basketball. Right, he keeps the ball moving, which I love to see. If he's open, he's going to knock it down. He's got a nice looking stroke and he shoots it pretty well. If you leave him open, he's going to hurt you. And then defensively, he falls right in that category with guys like Ron Holland, guys like Isaiah Stewart, who are just going to. He's like a mix between those two, between Ron and Stu, right? He's just kind of like the hybrid of those guys, as far as he can do a little bit of everything. Not quite as big as Stu, not quite as quick as Ron, right? But not quite as lanky as Ron, but he just has the ability to get in under your skin.
Oh yeah,
and that's what I like. Really tough dude.
He'll be a part of the dog pound
for sure.
Not already. He is. He's fun and we've talked about it. I love that we got him off season. I love it. So I'm excited for him. And I hope that we get these leads in these games where we can see these guys come out and contribute because they deserve it. They're definitely all. So. And
he's got some bunnies too. I wouldn't be surprised if he puts a few people on a poster at some point this year. Because go look up his film. Even at 33 years old.
Yeah.
Even as recent as last year, he was taken off from like, Yeah. Like this dude he's explosive.
Yes.
Explosive off the floor. So We'll see. A few Javonte Green comments said also Javonte Green tonight plus a couple of annoyance points. Exactly. He's just very annoying. You know what I mean? He gets under your skin. Mm-hmm. Green is a good mentor. I don't think he can play, but he can play defense. He is playing very hard, but probably just for. No, I disagree. I disagree with that. He may not play every night. He may not be an every night guy, but he's a guy to have on your team. He's a great depth piece. If you lose a guy, he can step in and the score not be affected.
Yep.
Right? Like he's one of those kind of guys. He can help you keep the ship afloat. He can help keep you in games. He can help win you possessions. Like he can do a lot of the little things that every single team needs. So I think he's more than that.
Yeah. And for certain guys that we might get into foul trouble against, he's a great guy to call up when we need to rest some of our guys to avoid that. I think that's a big role for him too. So.
Yeah. When you're going against guys like Mikal Bridges and OG Anunoby and those types of guys, it's good to have a Javonte Green on your team for sure, who's just as physical, right? So Organic says, I think Green is who Tobias was talking about when he said most athletic surprise. That could be because I'm gonna keep it a stack. I didn't really know much about him, and so I looked him up on YouTube. First video I saw was a highlight reel. I'm like, I've never even really seen him play. He's got like all these highlight reel videos. Like how? He must really have bunnies to not be a household name and still having getting all these, you know what I mean? So that attention. So he's super athletic. Go ahead.
Like you said earlier, I mean, I knew he was older, but then you said 33 and I was like, this guy who's moving like that is 33.
Yeah. Yep.
He's fast. He's a fast dude. So I think I agree with Organic. I could see that.
100%. All right. Let's go to Mark. So Marcus Sasser didn't play tonight. Yeah. He had hip tightness. I think he's okay. Yeah. You know, JD had I think he had hip tightness too, or hamstring tightness too. So I think it was more so just maintenance than anything else. But he had a lot to say about, the team tonight, a lot about Cade tonight. I'm not going to go through everything, but go watch the game. You'll see. But he had a lot of praise for his teammates. He talks about how he wants to stay ready. He's a little bit older, so that allows him to stay ready and, and professional and in shape and things like that. So let me ask you this. Mm-hmm. The last few shows I've talked about how I didn't really see a path for him just based on what Trajan Langdon said he wanted and what was already on this team.
Yeah.
So now that we've lost J.I., at least for the next month, and the domino effect that comes along with that, do you think that gives him more of a pathway at shooting guard? Because that's the only place I see him playing is shooting guard. I don't see him at point guard. I see him at shooting guard, possibly. So do you think there's a role for him, maybe even just a small one, to get some playing time at least while J.I.'s out?
I absolutely do, especially if Jenkins is in with him, because those guys have chemistry because they grew up together, they play together. Sasser, what was the quote that Blaha was just impressed by? Was Sasser's like, I might not be in, but I'll always stay ready to go or whatever.
Yep. Stay ready, so you got to get ready.
Yeah. Isn't that like Coach Hart's whole thing too?
Yep.
So, and I think that's Jenkins's whole thing also. I mean, and Blaha, Blaha, you could just tell loves him, loves Sass. Yeah. But I absolutely think that he will be called upon more when needed. Like we said, he can get hot. Have we seen it this preseason? No. Have we seen it in the seasons that he's played with us? Yes. And I think that him at shooting guard with Jenkins at a point guard would be a very ideal situation. And I can see it happening for sure.
So the only thing that will concern me is size.
Well, right.
Because DJ is 6'3", 6'4". I think Sass is like 6'2".
Mm-hmm.
So I think in certain matchups,
Exactly.
100%, it works. And I think that's what you were saying. Like situationally, I think there are ways to get him on the court because we've seen him play well when he has another guy with him.
Yeah.
That can at least defend a little bit.
Yeah.
Right. So he's not just gonna get picked on. Like he's a dog defensively. You know what I mean? So it's not like that. It's just good to have more size so you can defend more positions.
Yes.
But I do think in spots, like you said, there are opportunities to get him on the court with his best friend for sure.
He can be, TJ McConnell-esque in the sense that he has good handles and he can get to the basket and he can get to the wands.
Right.
And he can also be a pest on defense with steals. He is good at getting his hands in there. Sometimes he gets the silly touch fouls, but usually, he makes it hard. I think he's still a really good defender. But I agree, like with size, sure. But again, it might just be for 7, 8, 9 minutes.
Yep.
I'm happy. I am, again, bummed about Ivey, but I do hope that this is a chance for Jenkins and Sass and them to really get their names out there because they deserve it. And I think they stay with us, but I think that they also have the talent to go elsewhere and produce a lot. So.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard for me to because we don't know how talented he is offensively in both sides. He's just a good player.
Yeah.
It's just hard to see him just getting DNP after DNP after DNP after DNP. It's just tough.
Yes.
You know what I mean? I was almost like, man, just let him go play somewhere else and just at least get an opportunity. Even though I want him here, it was just hard for me. So if there is a silver lining to this, is that these guys can try to create a name for themselves and help this team, right? So
we feel that way because of the 22-23 season when Cade was out and we saw a lot more of Marcus Sasser.
Right.
And then his time just kept dwindling and dwindling.
Good point.
So we know what he can do, especially with consistency. So and he didn't play tonight. I think it was just, like you said, tight hips. He says he's hoping to play. We have enough guys that if we need to be a little more cautious, we can be for a little bit to get him there. But I do think that there is a spot for him to start this season for sure.
Yeah. So let's get to this off-base comment before we get to some Sasser comments. Ryan says, put Javonte Green against Draymond Green and you have green on green crime. Two chippy guys going at it. And that's a fact, man. Similar size, similar build, similar mentality.
Yep.
Yeah, similar. Both got a little crazy to them, which I like. Yeah, I definitely see that. All right, let's get to some Sass comments. Philip says, Sasser and Jenkins are fighting for the same minutes. It's who's going to. I don't think so. They play two different positions. Sass is a shooting guard. That's where he's best, and he should be put in position where he's best. I don't even want to try him at point guard right now. No, it's not fair to him. It's not fair to him because he's not used to playing that full time. He hasn't played that his whole career. It's been more so the shooting guard, get a bucket.
Yeah.
But I hear what you're saying, but I definitely think it's two different spots. Let's see what else we have. That's Holland, SAS, and Jenkins, and hopefully Green, like you guys are. Yeah, the dog pound for sure.
That'll be fun.
For sure. I was hoping Sasser would turn into Will Bynum type player, but nope. Why not? I mean, I'm gonna be honest. I think Sass is more naturally gifted. He's not the athlete that Bynum is, right? Bynum put up 50 points one time. Yeah. But as far as just having the natural talent to put the ball in the hoop, I think Sass is just a little bit better. Now, Will Bynum can jump out the gym. He had like a 40-some inch vertical. He was like 5'9", something crazy, right? Sass is a little bit bigger, right? So it's 6'2", but I hear what you're saying. I do see the comparison, but the but no part I can't really roll with because I think Sasser can be a really good player in this league and play as well, if not better than a Will Bynum, even though I do like Will Bynum. Let's see. Philip says, Will Bynum, man, I loved him, but he was not it other than that play on Charlotte and the crossover on Kevin Garnett. Good player, but not good enough for a team. I say the same thing about Stuckey. Yeah. So I think it's levels. I think it's levels for sure. I mean, I'm a big fan of Sasser, man. Like, even though I know I've talked about him in a way of saying I don't see a role for him, but that was it. I just didn't see how he was going to get the court.
Yeah,
but I'm a huge fan of him.
We have lots of guards, and again, like you said, depth. It's not because he's not useful. It's not because we don't believe that he would be good. It's just because we have a lot of guards.
Right. No, you're right.
Yeah.
A lot of shooting guards too.
I love Stuckey. I'm just gonna say I know if he's not good enough for the team. I love Stuckey.
So it's crazy. Like I liked him. The media ruined it for me.
Yeah.
Because they were talking about him being the next D Wade.
Right. And it was after Chauncey leaving,
Yeah.
A couple of things of like, okay, well, it's not Chauncey. So
Right. Saw it right away. Right away.
But I like the way he approached the game in his demeanor. I think the Pistons always do well with a point guard who's calm and in control. I feel like I don't think we would thrive with a LaMelo Ball kind of.
Nah.
So I think
and I like, before I even saw Stuckey play, I thought he had that dog in him because I felt like he looked like 50 Cent.
Yeah,
he had that 50 look to him. Yeah. So like, okay, might have something here, but no. But the thing is, the team wasn't good,
right?
So he wasn't really able to thrive the way he could have either. You know what I mean? It was just a bad time. But I don't know how we got to Rodney Stuckey, but let's get back to these guys. So I think we have one or two more. Okay, so I think that's okay. Bobi Klintman, and then we do Tolu Smith. So let's go to Bobi first. So tonight,
we gotta do Jones too.
Okay, my bad. You're right. We gotta do Colby Jones too. Okay, I got you. All right. So Bobi tonight had 2 points, 1 of 4 shooting, 0 of 3 from the free. He was ice cold. He could not get any of those to fall. One of them was a bad miss. Like, come on, Bobi.
2 of them.
2 of them were. You're right. 1 rebound, 1 steal, 1 turnover in 8 minutes. So the only thing I can say about him tonight was that he was aggressive.
Yeah.
He was dunking it, like hanging on the something has clicked as far as the way he attacks the game. I don't know if somebody said something to him or what, but usually it's just a little polite Tobias Harris, and but he was like hanging on the rim. Something happened. I don't know what, but I like it. But the shooting wasn't there tonight. He did. I can't even say much. He didn't shoot the ball well. He didn't really play well. But I do like the aggression from him tonight. What did you see?
Yeah, I agree. The aggressiveness. I think he's a player that needs to get warm. And putting him in the 4th, he's not going to get there.
Right.
The shots weren't good. The threes were literally chucked. I mean, one was at the shot clock was going out, but I mean chucked. So
yeah.
Off the rim back, and so we know that's not Bobi. So I don't know what that was about, but I think he just needs to get warm more. He came in at the wrong time and just couldn't get there. That's all.
Yeah. It's hard. Yeah, it's hard to catch it's hard because a lot of time when you get in the game late like that, you have no familiarity with the teammates.
Oh yeah, it was the most random.
It was organized chaos out there.
Yeah,
and that's why we saw as soon as those back-to-back shot clock expirations, we saw Daniss Jenkins run to the score table, come back into the game. So yeah, it's hard in those kind of situations because you want to make the right play, but you also want to stand out. Mm-hmm. So it's hard. It's hard. A lot of pressure. You want to take advantage of your limited moment in a sense as far as how much time you have. So, but he didn't play great tonight. I ain't gonna cap with you. He didn't play great. Wasn't a lot of time. He didn't play a lot, but I like the aggression. I'm keeping my eye on that for sure.
What we wanted.
That's what we want. Yeah. Ryan says he needs to get stronger. Maybe drink some muscle milk. Want to get bumped around. So he's got to get stronger. But he's a young guy. I'm sure that probably will be a focus for him next season, I would imagine. Maybe even as early as this season. We'll see. But he does need to get a little bit stronger for sure. Let's see. He says, give him time, he'll be a good fit. I agree. You guys know I'm the biggest proponent for a guy like Bobi. Bobi, Daniss, Tolu, those are my guys last summer league coming into this season. So it's nice to see those guys doing some things for themselves. All right. Organic says, Clemens has said he sees himself more as a KD. I don't think playing big has been a priority until he got here. That could be a very good point. I did not know that. I didn't know he said that. So that makes sense. As far as maybe more of a finesse game. Mm-hmm. And that's cool, right? I do see some flashes there. KD is just KD. It's not even, I'm not even trying to compare him, but we know what that is. But I see the style of play and I see the similarities. But even with just KD's quick twitch, like his first step, like just his quickness and being able to get off the floor and his hang time, and just even at this age, he's still textbook with everything. So yeah, but I do see more finesse in Bobi's game now, and that is going to need to translate to a little bit more physicality. And maybe not as much as Stu, right? But we got to have that across the board with all these guys. And I think that'll come with time. All right. Let's go to our last guy of the night, Tolu Smith, my dog, Tolu Smith. So he finished, second to last, because we got to get Colby Jones. She's looking at me like, don't forget, bro.
We gotta let him know we see him,
man.
He deserves it tonight. So
yeah, so Tolu tonight, he didn't score. 0 for 2 from the field. 1 board or 2 boards, 1 assist, 1 block, 1 turnover, 7 minutes. Like once again, it's just hard to get anything done in 7 minutes. I appreciate the fact that coach is trying to get these guys out there as much as he can, but there's only so many minutes to go around, right? Mm-hmm. The reason he didn't score in this game is because Daniss Jenkins or any other point guard was not in the game when he was in the game. And that's not a knock on anybody else. It's just they weren't point guards. Mm-hmm. Like I mentioned earlier, he was literally trying to set a screen and telling the guard which way to go before he gave him the ball. Like, and it just took too long. Shot clock ran out, and you saw Tolu frustrated. Yeah. And that's when you saw this. So, and once he came into the game, he started to do some things for the offense. So, yeah, I'm not going to comment too much on Tolu. It wasn't bad. It wasn't good. It was just incomplete because it was 7 minutes.
Yeah. I mean, the box score is wrong. He had 2 blocks in 1 possession.
Okay.
He had a block from behind, and then he went to the basket and blocked the shot.
You're right.
You're right. That was with a minute left, and I appreciate that kind of hustle. We're up 20. We were up by a lot. Of course, it's preseason. They're going to go out and show their all when they have the opportunity, but with a minute left, you're going to get 2 blocks in 1 possession. I'm here for it.
When he was on the show, he said, "Hey, I'm coming for everybody head. I'm coming for everybody head." So he's just got that mentality. It don't really matter. He's going to try to do whatever he can to make an imprint in the game. He's not just going to give half effort because the game's already in hand. So shout out Tolu, man, as always. Now, let's get to Boston's favorite player because I almost forgot like 5 times. Colby Jones, man. Colby Jones finished. This is the first time I think talking about him on the show. Yeah. 8 points tonight on 3-4 shooting, 2-2 from the 3-point line, 2 rebounds, 2 steals, 1 turnover in 6 minutes. So talk about making the most of your time. What did you see from Colby tonight?
Yeah, I saw him attacking the rim. His threes, one was wide open, made it. One was that pressured 3 in the corner with the made it. He had a steal at the end of the game. He stole it and then saves it out of bounds on defense. I mean, like you said, he made an impact in 6 minutes. And I mean, for us for doing memorable on top of the box score as well, I just loved his hustle. So I appreciate what he did in the limited time he got. I think, it's a bummer it's the last preseason game, but I think he earned himself, some potential to be called up when needed. Yeah, definitely for sure. Emperor Yori says, Jones made an immediate impact on both sides. Going to enjoy seeing how he does on the Crews. It's nice being able to see these guys kind of bounce back and forth between the Crews and the Pistons, get called up. Even if you don't play, just being with the team, watching from the sideline, seeing the connectivity, because they do a lot of the same things scheme-wise with the Crews as they do with the Pistons. So you're kind of like preparing for a test with the Crews to hopefully be able to take the test, right, in the NBA with the Pistons at some point, because it's a lot of the same stuff. You just got to learn it. And once you learn it and have time to learn it, you see guys like Daniss Jenkins being able to flourish because it's a lot of the same stuff, right? So it's just cool to see how there's that connectivity between the program. And I think that's going to help guys like Colby Jones maybe get a chance to play in the NBA at some point. So we'll see. Mega Hustler says it's good to have Colby, another good Ivey insurance policy. Yeah, he's just another good guard to have, right? If you need him, call him up and have him come play for you a little bit, for sure. Jones can't and won't be a rotational player. He just can't. He's going to need some time to prove himself. I love what I've seen, but I need to see. It seems like a lot of these guys who you don't like just are incomplete. Like you just haven't seen enough yet. And that's honestly what happened with guys like Daniss Jenkins. I hate to keep saying it, but nobody was talking about him last year. Yeah. Nobody, really. I don't like the words can't and won't.
Facts.
But like, no way. Can't and won't? You mean he's just going to have to prove himself on the Cruise? Cool. But he will. Right. But I'm interested. Organic Lindo posted this one about him. JB Bickerstaff made a pretty emphatic point to praise Jones loudly for his hustle at the end of the last game. So that's exciting. And I'm sure he had words in his post-game presser about him too. So I want him to know that he's out there and seen. And just before closing arguments, just because he was out there, and in case you're watching, Bryce Williams, I saw your tweet. It was nice. You look good.
Oh, yeah. She always talking about Bryce.
Appreciate it. I'm always talking about everyone that makes.
You are.
They go in the game and they're like, I'm going to go see what people are saying, and their name doesn't get mentioned if they make a nice play.
No, you're right.
Appreciate it.
You're right.
You went out there. You did your job. Thank you.
See, this is why you on the show. See what I'm saying? This is why you're here. This is why you're here to get the other side of the perspective. So point taken. All right. So let's wrap up, guys. So the season's finally here. Well, in 6 days, it'll be here. But the preseason is finally behind us. How about that? The Pistons' first regular season game is this upcoming Wednesday, October 22nd, on the road against the Chicago Bulls. And I am expecting a dub. I don't know about you, but I'm expecting a win. I will be a little disappointed if we lost, But let's just keep in mind that last year we started off 0-4 and finished 44-38. So let's not panic. If they come out a little slow, if they're still trying to get acclimated with their new roles, if you see some careless turnovers, it's going to happen. It all comes with building chemistry and building familiarity with your teammates. Not the end of the world, though. So with that being said, it is important the Pistons try to win most of the games they're supposed to win. And with that, I think they should beat the Bulls. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, like I mentioned, I got to see them in action, and I didn't get to see Kobe White. I don't know what his status is, but Giddey and Buzelis were their top producers expected.
Javon Carter?
Outside. Javon Carter, yep. So he was who I noticed just watching the game. I was like, who is this guy coming up? Javon, he was just crazy. He got past everyone. He was doing layups on Jokic. Like, he looks great. I think he ended the game with 17 points. And I think he will be someone. He's like my surprise Bulls player. But if we play good defense, there's no way we lose, because that's basically what they did. Again, it was preseason, but their offense is fine. They have players that can get hot. They have decent shooters, but if we play defense, we're good. And we emphasize defense way more than they do. So I think our offense will be solid. Again, as long as we're not cold and they're hot, I don't see why we wouldn't get a dub.
Right.
But I know we're still trying to piece stuff together, especially with the news that Ivey might not be, or isn't isn't starting. So I'm not going to jinx it and say we have it in the bag. There's honestly no reason why we shouldn't win this.
Right. So. Yeah, there's no reason why we shouldn't. And, these guys, they also know they started off slow last year. So who knows how many times they could have thought to themselves, if we would have got off to a better start, we're seeding wise where we have been last year. Just all those things, I'm sure the offseason gives you time to think about. Right. Yeah. So our first couple games in the 0-4 start, what is our first game was against the Pacers? Yes. Season opener. Yep.
It's not like we were against teams that didn't do well last season,
It's true.
But again, anything can happen. We obviously bounced back from that, but I do see, I think that it'll be a good first game. I'm from Chicago. I hate the Bulls. So I hope that we get it done.
That's funny.
I know.
You don't meet too many people who are from the Chi, but can't stand the Bulls. That is a rarity.
Yeah, but can't stand him.
Have you ever told anybody in the Chi that you're not a MJ fan, but you're an Isaiah Thomas fan?
Oh, always.
How does that go?
Oh, I just,
you need security.
Again, yeah, well, exactly. So they always bring up the Dream Team drama, all this stuff. And, Michael Jordan, compared to Isaiah Thomas, Michael Jordan is not a nice person. His personality, it sucks.
I've heard that.
Yeah. When I was a kid, met him. I was in a Pistons jersey. Wouldn't even acknowledge me right in front of him. Wouldn't even look me in the eye. A kid.
Right.
So.
He probably saw red, white, and blue and got PTSD. It probably wasn't even you.
Get me out of here. I don't want to deal with
Probably wasn't even you. He probably just saw the jersey and saw, like in the water boy, he probably just saw Isaiah Thomas's head on the coach's butt.
My comeback, it's a reach, but my comeback was always, have you won a championship in the 21st century? Have you done anything since Jordan?
See, that's just more so.
Go anywhere with it.
That's just more so tipping the cap for me for my LeBron James GOAT conversation. But anyway, I ain't doing that right now because that'll drive the whole chat crazy and they probably all leave. So anyway, but good stuff there. I forgot you met MJ, or you kind of met MJ long time. You should have met MJ a long time ago. That's crazy. crazy. All right, DVE, man. Detroit was everybody. So listen, guys. The Pistons home opener comes 2 games after that game against the Boston Celtics. And as I mentioned last show, the boss is going to be in town for that. Tom, Korean Pistons fan, is going to be in town for that as well, for that home opener at Little Caesars Arena. So boss is making the trip from, you're in Colorado, right?
Yeah.
Are you in Denver, Colorado? Yeah. Okay, so you know, heart of Denver. Okay, cool. Yeah, so she's coming from Denver, Colorado. Tom is coming from South Korea, traveling all the way from out there for this game. So if they can come from their respective locations, there ain't no reason why y'all shouldn't be in the building.
Pack it up. There's way
opening night.
It's still available.
Yeah, man, we got to pack that out. Opening night, man. For me, because like, here's this why. For me, this upcoming season is the most anticipated regular season that I probably had as far as team expectation in more than 15 years.
Oh, yeah.
Like the last time I've been this excited about a Pistons team as far as what we can do in the playoffs probably like 2007,
Yeah.
2008. The last time we went to the playoffs before last year was in 2008, where we actually did something. It was 2019 we went.
Yeah.
2016 we went. And the last time we won a game in the playoffs was in 2008. So that's 17 years, 18 years. So I'm looking forward to it. So you guys should be packed out, man. I want to see as many people there as possible for that game, just to support our guys and help them get off to a good start. Right. So make sure you guys tap in and let us know if you'll be there so we can all link up. And lastly, you guys can look for a new Pistons anthem coming really soon.
Exciting.
Carl Collins, what up, though, my dog? So stay tuned for that. You got anything else, boss?
Nope. Just thinking, it'll be my first time at LCA. Every Pistons game I ever went to was at the Palace. So I went to Little Caesars Arena. So I hope everyone shows up and shows out, because I'm expecting, the Nuggets are just voted the best home crowd and best place to watch a game live.
Really?
By all the GMs. Yes. And they are fantastic. But I expect us to beat that. So
I'm hoping so.
Let's get them all in there. So I'm very excited. And like I said, I'm going with Deuce and Tom, and would love to meet anybody at halftime, in between quarters, whenever. Would love to say hi, because I'm pumped. I'm amped.
100%. So y'all make sure y'all show up, man, for sure. Last comment: every Pistons fan needs to watch the Bad Boys 30 for 30 before the first game of the season. If they did not watch, I'm going to watch that again myself. That's a great recommendation. I've seen it probably like 135 times already. I'm gonna make it 136 and go watch it in the next few days before the regular season opener, just to get it through my veins again. I need it injected in my veins again. So
yeah, exactly.
Great comment. All right, guys, that is a wrap for tonight's show. We appreciate you guys pulling up and showing out as you guys always do. So everybody be safe. Have a great night. And y'all know the drill, man. Detroit versus everybody. Peace.
And when you knock me down, I'm getting back up. Cause when I step on the floor, you know your time's up. I'm on my way up and I'm not gonna stop. We headed straight to the top in the low. I gotta face it. I got no time to waste it. It's my time now.